Hi there, my name is Samantha Elizabeth, and in this video, I am going to show you how to use and set up the chart of accounts feature or tab here in your Dubsado. So that way you can get a really good idea at any moment where your income is really being generated from, which services and offerings are generating you the most income, which are generating you the least amount of income, and also give you an idea of where the dollar amount of where your expenses lie. So when you log into Dubsado, you're likely going to be on the land on the dashboard here first after signing in. So you're going to want to navigate to the left-hand menu bar here. And under reporting, we're going to want to go to chart of accounts. So here you will see the two categories, income and expenses. So the reason and really role behind the chart of accounts, as I mentioned, is for you to have a few different categories in income and expenses for you to see the total dollar amount of what you've collected and what is being uncollected. So this will give you a really good idea. Once you have this set up and you're using it, say for 6 months to a year or more, you'll be able to come in here regularly and review to see which income, which services and offerings are generating you the most income. You might be able to see which services or offerings typically are going uncollected, just so you can kind of make some notes of that and maybe follow up and see why some income is being uncollected, because we do, as just business owners in general, we want to make sure that we are getting the money that we are owed. Now, one tip I do like to offer and to suggest with setting up your chart of accounts categories is to try and be as specific, but as broad as possible. So if you do say, if you are actually a good example would be if you're a web designer, say, and you offer maybe 5 different types of packages ranging from a full-on web design to just a sales page creation. Yeah, once you're getting to 5 or more different packages, my suggestion would be to try and amalgamate those packages into smaller categories. Just that way, this looks a lot cleaner and gives you a much better idea of what specific services are generating you the most income. So taking that example as a web designer, if say you also set up websites for courses, even say in Kajabi or something, that might be something that you want to separate. So possibly web design in WordPress, web design in Kajabi as one. So it's still giving you a really good idea of what services your income is coming from. However, it's not going to give you 10 to 20 different income categories, because that just kind of makes a bit of a cluster, in my opinion, and kind of defeats the purpose of seeing a round number of where your income is coming from. So that is just my suggestion there. Feel free to take it or leave it. That is completely up to you. But just in my experience, I tend to prefer and find it a little bit more valuable if these categories are a little bit more broad and not too specific to make this look overly cluttered. Okay, so to get to the kind of, I guess, nitty gritty and how to here. So to set up an income category, you're going to go to the top right here and click on Income Category Plus. This is where you're going to want to type in the name of that category. So for this category, I'll use the example of myself, actually. I offer some system setup services. There we are. As well as I do have a few clients that are on ongoing VA retainer. So those are two very different. So an ad hoc system setup as one category, and then an ongoing client relationship as a VA or OBM as another category. So you'll type in the name up top, and then you'll select whether it's a sale, a service, or a non-operating income. For this, I'm going to choose service. As it is a service, I'm going in to set up their Dubsado, ASANA, Kajabi for a course or Teachable. A sale, I typically use that type of income for more passive offers. So if you are using Dubsado to sell some maybe passive offers of templates or a workshop perhaps, then I would label that type of income as sales. But for this is definitely a service. I will label it as service. And for non-operating, typically income non-operating, that's what I would label as a gratuity or a tip or such. So once you've put the name in, select the type, you will hit add, and then I might need to refresh, but it should show up right here. Perfect. System setup. The type is an income and for services. Let me just put one more. I'll do that example of as a tip, as a non-operating. I'll refresh again. And there we are. So very much the same thing also with your expenses. We're going to click on expense category plus to add one in. Type of expense. Let's put, I already have it, systems. Systems is definitely an expense that you may charge to a client. So then you'll click cost of goods, whether it is just operating or non-operating. For this, I, as a system, typically is being paid ongoing. I consider that more of an operating cost. So I'm going to click to add that in there. And again, refresh. And then we have our systems expense there labeled as an operating cost. So now with these income and expense categories set up, when you do go and create packages, you'll be able to select what income or expense category that package is being attributed to, or which it really falls under. And you'll be able to add those accordingly on the invoices that you create. So that way, when your funds are collected, or funds are collected from any invoice you issue to a client, it will be recorded into the proper income category. So that way, once you've issued a few invoices, in some time, you'll be able to come here and see what amount was collected per income category along with expense and what was uncollected here.